So today we're going to talk about a very important aspect when you're creating something, in particular your projects for this course, and that's called copyright rules and laws. So you're probably thinking, what is copyright rules and laws? Isn't that something that have to do with just movies or books? And why do I, as a middle school student going into high school or college, have to follow these rules? And if I do, how do I do that? Well, first let's go over what does it mean to have copyright protection or copyright. So throughout this presentation, you'll see definitions of words, and it'll be very important to keep in mind these definitions, not that you have to memorize them, as these will be a part of your activities in your assignment. So our first definition for copyright protection. Copyright protection is a law that protects a creator's ownership of and control over the work he or she creates, requiring that other people get the creator's permission before they copy, share, or perform the work. Under the rules, you might be wondering what's considered a creative work. A creative work is an event, action, or object of creative effort, including fine artwork such as sculptures, paintings, drawings, sketching, performance art, even dance, writing within literature, filmmaking, musical composition, blogs, research papers. Anything that you create, whether online or as an actual item, can be considered a creative work and therefore falls under copyright protection. So why are there rules or laws about creative works? Well, they give the creator exclusive rights to publish, print, copy for either personal or business reasons, and they prevent another person from saying that they are the original creator and or make a profit from the sale of the creation. And thirdly, anyone who'd want to use the original creative work would need permission from the creator and may need to pay a fee to the creator or owner. So if permission is not granted, then the user has committed copyright infringement or piracy. What do those words mean? Well, here's 3 different definitions that are part of copyright infringement or piracy. Infringement, it's the action of breaking the terms of a law, agreement. It's a violation. In other words, a copyright infringement would be breaking the law or violating someone else's control over their own creation, including replication and for commercial purposes. Commercial purposes, let's talk about that. A use in connection with business, usually for profit. So simply, you've created something and you want to make money off of it. Lastly, piracy. I'm sure as I've said that word, the picture of a pirate's coming to mind. And what do pirates do? They steal. So piracy is the theft of intellectual property, especially in electronic media. Here are a couple of examples that I'm giving you to show copyright infringement or piracy. In the first example, a person is selling hats that he has designed with the exact original San Francisco 49ers logo on it without permission from the team owner to do so. The logo does not belong to the hat seller, but the team owner. He infringed a copyright because he is not the owner of the logo. In the second example, a person downloads a copy of a movie that is currently playing in the movie theater and tells a friend she can pay $2 to have her own copy. The movie is not her creation, she was not given permission to download a copy, and she did not pay for the right to sell a copy to someone else. She has committed piracy with downloading the movie and infringed upon the film company's copyright to distribute and sell the film creation for their own commercial purposes. What happens if a person commits copyright infringement or piracy? A violator can be sued for monetary damages if the copyright owner registers the copyright with the U.S. Copyright Office. But do keep in mind, copyright is an automatic thing in most cases. when a person wants to register their copyright, that gives them legal recourse to be able to sue somebody who has used their creation. Also, the violation can be considered criminal and will be investigated by the FBI, and laws will be enforced by the Department of Justice. So, how can we make sure that we don't commit copyright infringement or piracy? Well, I'm going to show you many ways that you can ethically and legally follow copyright rules and regulations. The first method is by seeking permission from the original creator or author. This means that in writing, whether by email or in an actual letter, you are going to request permission from the author to use their creation or work within your own project or so on. Now, the creator author may request that you pay a fee to do so, or what they might call a royalty. And this could be anywhere from $2 to $5 million. It just depends on how they have decided to set up their copyright for their particular creation. So a second way of making sure that you're following copyright rules and regulations or laws is to seek out sources that already have what's called Creative Commons licenses. What does that mean? A license that is used when an author wants to give other people the right to share, use, and build upon a work that they, the author, have created, but the user must give the author or creator credit for the original work. And in the next slide, I'll show you an example of that. So on this slide, I've listed this particular website that's called photosforclass.com. And in this website, they have Creative Commons licenses for all types of images or pictures. Anybody can use this. They have a simple search key field where you can put in any sort of topic and see if there's already images available where you have where you are able to actually use that image without seeking permission. And what's really nice is they already give you the citation information that's part of the image. So in my example here is this big image, and at the bottom is all this information regarding where the picture came from. One really great thing to know about copyrights is that they do not last forever. The rule is that copyrights last for as long as an author remains alive, and then for an additional 70 years after the author dies. A creative work can then enter what we call the public domain, which means users of the works are not committing copyright infringement or piracy. So before I show you a little clip from this old movie, let's go over the definition real quick of public domain. Public domain consists of all the creative work to which no exclusive intellectual property rights apply. Those rights may have expired, been forfeited, expressly waived, or may be inapplicable. So here we have a movie. It's called The Brain That Wouldn't Die from 1962. This movie came from the public domain, which you can find on the internet, along with many other great old films and movies. A fourth way of following copyright rules and laws, and that is provided by the U.S. law, is called the Fair Use Doctrine. Fair Use Doctrine is a rule that protects a student or anyone who reproduces work for the purpose of criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, or research. So in other words, if you've used somebody's work as part of your project, and it is for research purposes, as in the case for this course, you will fall under the fair use doctrine. Here's a good example of the fair use doctrine. A student is doing a science fair project on the topic of brand names and their influences on shoppers' habits. He has copied cutouts of several brand name logos on his display for his project, such as Amazon.com, Netflix, Lucky Brand, Adidas, and so on. He has also used these names in his actual paper. Such copying might qualify under the fair use doctrine because it was done for the purpose of research. The fifth and best way for you to make sure that you're following copyright rules and laws and to avoid copyright infringement is cite your sources. So, just because something is on the internet, in a book, in a movie, or on a sign, does not mean it's free to use, call your own, or change. Good luck with your projects.